Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 VC review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Fighting Street, which yes, that is actually just another name for Street Fighter. It's the original Street Fighter. It's a perfect arcade port on the TurboGrafx. So if you haven't worked out what it is by now, it's basically a fighting game or beat 'em up, whichever you prefer. I personally prefer the latter. At the start, you quite simply have one player or two player. Choosing the one player, you get 4 different routes. Depending on which routes you go on first, basically gives you different enemies. And then you get the same 2 boss enemies at the same time every time. So there's 10 enemies overall, and there's also some bonus stages. I'll do my best to show one of them off, well, at least one of them off. I might be able to show a couple. It depends on whether or not I can get up to it or not, to be fair. Because this is so very different to the original game, and it's just basically, well, I've just realised what I've said there. It's very stupid saying the original game when this one was the original. It's just that I've seriously never played it before. It's one of those that I'd always played the second one, and I know everyone slagged this one off, and I didn't know why, because I didn't play it. And to be fair, I think it's been a bit, it's one of those that's had a bit of flack that didn't really deserve. Don't get me wrong, it's crap compared to Street Fighter 2, but I don't actually think it's all that bad. I definitely think Street Fighter 2 is by far the better game. They really did go all out and change it in everything that needed changing. I mean, for one, the moves don't even work properly on this. I can just about pull off one of those, the Dragon Punch, but I can't pull off a Fireball or a Tatsumaki Whirlwind, even though they are the same button mappings as the other Street Fighter games. But, as I was saying, it is basically a fighting game. Most people hate it, so you're probably not even going to bother buying it yourself, and you're probably going to only watching this just to see why the hell I bought it. But, for those of you who haven't played it before and are actually interested, the whole point is to kick the crap out of your enemy. It just comes up enemy, even though they have names, so proof of more basicness to be fair. But kick the crap out of them, win 2 out of 3 rounds, and then go on to the next enemy and do the same, just kick the crap out of the next one. They each have different strategies and moves and stuff like that, so you have to learn how to beat them. But apart from that, there's nothing really left to actually say about the mechanics of it. So this is one of the bonus games, but I'll warn you in advance, I'm pretty crap at them, so I honestly don't know how well I'm going to do. You've basically got to sort your timing out and then whack it, and I went on the totally wrong scale thinking that red was the power, and it's not, it's yellow that's the power. So anyway, that's just one of them. There's not really much to mention about them, they're just like there for a little bit of fun, for points and stuff like that. There's a story on it, just like on the other games, like when, for example, you beat like a character, it'll come up story, or if you lose, it'll come up like phrases and stuff. There's voice acting on it, and it's terrible, but there's not really much left to mention about the one-player game, so I'm just going to cut into some two-player now. So, as I say, there is a 2-player, and it is just simply Ryu and Ken, that's it. It doesn't even come up with the names, to be fair, of Ryu and Ken, it just says player 1 and player 2. The only things I can really mention about the 1-player are the fact that you've got limited continues, which is bad, because the game's really hard, and that there's cheats, which you can enter in the high score mode, but I can't actually get them to work, so I don't know if they've been disabled on this version, or if I'm just doing something wrong, or if they've been changed, or something like that. But basically, if you're buying it thinking there's cheats, I'd look around first and just check out with people who've been able to pull them off before, and see if they can pull them off on this version as well. There really isn't anything left to say though, other than that if you're curious about where Street Fighter came from, it's worth a look, because that's solely why I bought it, and I've actually been not much enjoying it, not as much as that, is simply happy that I've actually bought it and finally seen where it came from. But if you're after a fighting game, then steer the hell away and get the second one. So here's some music and hopefully a decent looking fight, but as we can't even pull off moves, then probably not going to get that. Well, I know I said I'd sign off after the music, but I thought of something else that might be worth mentioning, and that's that when you're on a 2-player game, as soon as you beat the second player, you go straight back into the 1-player game, so you can't even really set up decent 2-player bouts without constantly hitting the reset button. So there we go then, that's been the review. I hope you've enjoyed it, or at least found it helpful. You might have noticed I didn't score the game. Well, that's because it's a matter of personal opinion, and yours may very well differ from my own. I'm just here to show you a bit about the game. If you like it or not, well, that's up to you. If you don't like it, or you do like it, feel free to comment. Also, if I haven't answered any of your questions that you may have had, I might have forgot something, or it might just be something obscure. Again, feel free to comment, ask, always willing to help out. Otherwise, if you don't like commenting on YouTube, head over to www.vc-forums.com, where you can chat with me and a bunch of other lads who love the VC, the WiiWare, and hell, even a lot of other systems. We cater to pretty much everything. You can just go there, have a chat about a game, ask about some games, etc. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.